Dana, you want to let us know which capsule is the second chapter? Which capsule of love?
Moving on, Unconditional Love is next. And with us is my favorite Chicago girl and such a motivation, fabulous choreographer, SAG-AFTRA talent, international speaker, domestic violence awareness advocate, Miss DREA Kelly. She's going to talk.
Good night.
Aw, hi, DREA.
Hi. Crowds.
Everybody. You know, it's funny. I love everybody on this group of love chat women, but the Chicago girls, y'all do it for me. Everybody does it for me. But Dana and I connected because of her truth and her honesty. And I think that just kind of delving into your story and some of the wonderful things that you do to kind of give light and give hope to people who've gone through the adversity that you've gone through. It just is so important to me that you honest girls, Chicago girls, sometimes it's like, I'm just going to give you the truth. I'm just going to give you with the truth. So the last chapter was why love and why sometimes you have to give people the truth. And sometimes it's hard to do it with love, right?
It is.
This chapter, what is this capsule for Dana or for DREA? Dana.
Well, I have to tell you, the we performance, the spoken word I just did, that is my favorite chapter of the book. And that is probably one of my favorite poems from that chapter. And I'm so glad that Unconditional Love as a topic resonated with you because, I mean, you are a light and an inspiration to so many women around the world. And you haven't had it completely easy. So please, we're here to soak up some of your inspiration because you just walk with this grace and ease that is not easy for women to do.
And unconditional love is what we're talking about with you, DREA.
Yeah. You know, this unconditional love, it means so many things to me, and especially being a woman and a survivor of domestic violence. When you think unconditional love as women, we are conditioned to believe that unconditional love is for everybody except us. We're supposed to love our spouse despite what they've gone through, their traumas, the abuse, their upbringing, the lack of a mother or a father. We're supposed to have it for our children. We're supposed to have it for our co-workers, but we're not supposed to have it for us. Because when we have unconditional love for us, it's called being selfish. When we put ourselves first, that's being called selfish. When we put others first, they tell us it's unconditional love. And we have to think of ourselves as a gas tank. If I'm on E, that means I'm giving everybody else around me fumes. I have to fill up my tank first in order to have something to give to everyone else. So let's not look at that as being selfish. That is truly unconditional love. For me, unconditional love was this point in my life. Well, I'll give a background. The first time I ever was witness to abuse was my grandfather, and he was also a Baptist preacher. So God, love, and pain were all one to me at a very young age. And it wasn't so much what my grandfather did that changed me, because I accepted, okay, you're a monster. It is what it is. It's what my grandmother didn't do that changed me. Because the very next day, I remember waking up, a little girl, 6 years old, and I smelled fresh squeezed orange juice. I smelled bacon, eggs, toast. And I remember coming downstairs, and my grandfather is sitting at the head of the table with his Bible, praying over his eggs. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, am I the only person in this house that saw what happened last night? What my grandmother taught me was unconditional love then means I'm going to be a lady of grace through abuse, because she got up, she did her hair, she was dressed and served him like he was a king. So for me, unconditional love at a very young age was tainted. That meant you sacrifice of yourself. You let someone harm and abuse you, and you get up and you are a lady of grace, which then means you're condoning that behavior. And women are taught, let's be real, in this generation, everybody wants that ride or die girl. I'm from Chicago. I'm a walk and live. That's okay. I don't need to be with you. I'm not doing that, because I'm going to choose me first. And especially when you are a mother, I have to be a living example. As women, we have to be living examples for other women. We don't, you like you said, we're Chi-Town girls. We talk the talk and walk the walk. So in order for us to get to that, we need women that are examples of what does that look like? What is unconditional love? Is it okay for me to give it to myself? Well, when we don't have a point of reference, like my grandmother, I didn't have a point of reference outside of the household to say this is toxic. In life, when we don't have a point of reference as women to see what unconditional love truly looks like, and I'm not talking this fake Instagram unconditional love that means if I don't have filters in my lace front on, I can't be seen. If I'm not contoured, I don't go to the grocery store. That's a facade.
No,
Unconditional love.
I think you're right. I think, and for anybody listening, I think what's most important for women to understand, it doesn't just have to be physical abuse. It doesn't have to be verbal abuse. There's gaslighting. There's people who drag you on and act like they're going to do something for you, and you're continually the giver and giver. One thing I want to say is, from Madison to you, DREA, I want to talk to you guys for an hour each. I think we should do a chapter. We should do an hour for each chapter because we're.
Good night. I would have planned goodbye. I would have.